there's a brutal truth that almost no man wants to accept. And it's this: love can turn the smartest man into the easiest one to destroy. While some men train their bodies, build wealth, and develop power, others give all of that away for one single person. And that's where their downfall begins. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. A man who cannot control his emotions will end up obeying someone else's emotions. Because the problem was never love itself. The problem is when love makes you weak. When you start begging for attention. When you tolerate disrespect out of fear of losing someone. When your happiness depends on a person who fully understands the power they have over you. And the most dangerous part is that many men call love
what is actually emotional dependency. Machiavelli never spoke about love like poets did. He observed the world for what it truly was: cold, competitive, manipulative. And he understood something uncomfortable. Most people do not respect the man who gives himself completely. They use him because the moment someone gains total control over your emotions, they also gain control over your decisions. And a man controlled emotionally is a predictable man. That's why so many men change when they fall in love. They lose discipline. They lose focus. They lose ambition. They stop building their own lives and begin building around someone else. And slowly, they become a shadow of themselves. The ironic part is that the more they chase love, the less respect they receive. Because even in relationships, power matters. This isn't about manipulation. It's about not giving yourself away completely until you lose who you are. Machiavelli understood that respect always comes before neediness. Because the man who needs too much accepts too much humiliation, lies, disrespect. All because he fears being alone. And that is where the silent tragedy of many men begins. They are not destroyed by hatred. They are destroyed by attachment. A dangerous man is not the one who feels nothing. He is the one who feels deeply, but never kneels emotionally before anyone. Because the moment your peace depends on another person, you are no longer free. And Machiavelli knew that freedom itself was a form of power. That's why some men, after being emotionally destroyed, change. They become quieter, colder, harder to read. Not because they stopped loving, but because they learned something painful. The world often does not reward the good man. It rewards the strong man. And emotional strength begins the moment you stop begging for love and start building value. Because when a man has purpose, he no longer desperately chases attention. When he has discipline, abandonment no longer destroys him. And when he masters his mind, he stops becoming a slave to his emotions. Most people believe suffering for love makes them deep. But Machiavelli would say something far more cruel. If an emotion controls your life, then you are not the owner of yourself. So listen carefully. Never trade your dignity for affection. Never sacrifice your purpose for company. And never allow someone to become the absolute center of your existence. Because the man who lives only to be loved eventually forgets how to respect himself. And when a man loses that, the entire world begins to see him as weak. Love can inspire you or destroy you. It all depends on whether you love from strength or from emptiness. Because in the end, the most dangerous man is not the one who cannot love. It is the man who learned how to love without losing control of himself. If this video made you think, subscribe. Because here we do not talk about fantasies. We talk about the truths most people are afraid to hear. And comment this phrase: attachment destroys the weak man.